Welcome to this video. In today's video, I want to talk about Lifepath 1, okay? With Lifepath 1, usually when you watch a video on Lifepath 1, I want to differentiate this video. Let's just say that, okay? Usually I'll go on YouTube and I'll see that Lifepath 1 is all about leadership. That is the core foundation of Lifepath 1. There is no denying that, okay? But in today's video, I want to dive deeper than just surface level. I want to get a little more detailed, okay? Just saw 33. And I want to talk about the dark side of a one life path. Usually I talk about 11s. This channel is a lot about 11s, but overall it's about numerology. If you're here, this channel is about numbers. If you want to learn numbers, numbers is the language of God. Okay? God communicates with you through numbers. Okay? So let's dive deep. Even if you're seeing like numbers like 111, 222, 333, and you're like, what's going on? You're on the right channel right now. Okay? God brought you here for a specific reason. Okay? Now, let's start with Lifepath 1. Lifepath 1. You are very strong-willed of a person, okay? You're very self-confident. Now, even though you go through challenges in your life, you have a very strong, inner knowing, okay? Which, a lot of people don't have, but you have that inner knowing. You're very strong at the core. At the core, you stand very firm. Okay, when you walk into a room, you're very confident. You have that type of vibration where you're not, here to conform to different people's ideology. You're there and you're more relaxed, right? You're the one that is leading folks. Okay, now when you're a leader, I want you to let's get a little deeper, okay? And we're going to talk about the dark side about 11 too. I have a couple of points for that. Here's what happens. So when you're a leader, what happens is you become very independent of a person, of an individual. So you have a very independent vibration, okay? You don't like getting favors from people. You like doing things your way, okay? Yeah. So usually what happens is when people try to tell you what to do, you don't like that. That's not something you like. You are more of the type of person that will pave a path. You're going to pave a certain way, okay? Life path 1 or birth number 1, whichever one you are right now, okay? Now, by the way, if you're wondering what's the difference between Lifepath 1 or birth number 1, on my channel I have a video. I recently uploaded a video on that. If I do remember, I will most likely post it in the description, okay, because that is very important. Now, you are very courageous, Lifepath 1 or birth number 1. You are courageous 1, okay? You are the type of person that a lot of people won't be willing to do or take roles that you'll be willing to take. Because let's just be honest, in today's society, we need more leaders. We don't have enough leaders. And I'm being honest, the vast majority of society is just following. It's like a herd society. So when you come in, you're able to build a leadership role. Sometimes you can even build structure, but not as much as obviously a 4 life path, because 4 life path is way more about structure than 1 is. But still, you can lead and you could employ a lot of force to do the structuring for you, to be very honest, okay? Now, you have a very strong drive, okay? Coffee. You have a very strong drive. You just want to achieve your goals. You want to get to the next goal as soon as you're done achieving your goal, the one that you have right now. I think Brad Pitt is a one life path. If you look at him, you know, if you look at a lot of these, there are a lot of these actors that are very, very, very ambitious. And when you look at their life path one, or their birth number one, and you'll see that they are so driven. You're so driven of a person. Like, it's in you to be extremely driven. And you might be the type of person that just doesn't like to be around lazy people. Like, when you're around lazy people, it kind of gets you annoyed. Like, you're kind of annoyed by seeing some sort of like laziness around you, because it affects you to a certain extent. But because you're independent, you usually don't even let that type of energy around you, because you're more of like, I'll do it myself type of vibe, okay? You're very self-reliant. Again, that comes with being independent. So, as I said, we're not looking at things just as like on a surface level basis over here, okay? You, and I might get into detail in my following videos, upcoming videos, on how you do not like taking favors from other people at any cost. It's just not in you to take favors. You're the type of individual that's like, no. I'll do it on my own. And because of that, you might be the type of person that has like, you get kind of stubborn. And that's with the dark side. I'm going to get into the dark side a little later, okay? A little later. Let me mention the one more point, and then let's get into the dark side, because the dark side is like, I honestly think that the dark side is where the ones have to pay a lot of attention to be very honest. And like, if you're the type of person that's very sensitive, the dark side might not be for me to dwell into that. You might not want to even hear that, but like, I'm just here. On my channel, I have a rule. I like to keep it very honest with people, right? I really, because like when I got into numbers, like I'm an 11 life path myself. I went onto YouTube, and I respect a lot of the numerologists. I have nothing against any of them. But I would get a lot of woo-woo information, like a lot of just woo-woo, like just like, oh, we'll package it to your like ego type of information. So that's not what I was vibing with. I just wanted more blunt information. You are very optimistic of an individual. So one life path, you're always, so yeah, you're very optimistic. Like, even if you're at a place or at a point where you don't feel good about yourself or something, you're going through certain circumstances, you have this in you where you're like, everything's gonna be all right. Like, you have that gut feeling inside yourself that you'll be able to make it out. That's what's amazing about you, because you're so self-reliant, and you have like systems intact where you're like, no, like, I'll do it. I'll be able to make it out. Okay, now let's get into the dark side, okay? Now, this dark side can affect you in relationships, like in intimate relationships. If you have like a boyfriend or a girlfriend, it can affect you with their family. It can affect you at workplace. It can affect you in different ways, okay? So it's better to know the dark side and then like work with it, rather than completely being oblivious of it, right? Now, you are very dominating, and you could get very bossy with people. So what ends up happening is that you really want things to go your way, okay? And when you want things to go your way and they don't, you could sometimes end up being bossy, okay? And that's like where other people could look at you and be like, wait, where's our place over here? You know what I mean? That's something to like really pay attention to, right? You could become very stubborn, okay? You could, and because like sometimes like if the things don't really go your way, you're like, oh, okay, no. Now it's like that Taurian energy that you could have. And I'm telling you, because I'm a Taurus, I could really much, and my birth number is 1, by the way. So I know what it is. Like I know what it is, right? Like when you're like someone that, when you're someone that doesn't get their way in, you're like, no, It's not going to happen until like it's my way type of thing, right? And you're you could become very stubborn. And I'm not going to lie, even me myself, like sometimes I'm just very, very stubborn, and I realize it, and I'm like, I'm getting stubborn, right? And look, sometimes it could serve us, but sometimes it could really, now it depends on the situation, right? If you do not want to meet certain people that are going to lower your frequency, and like just meeting them, you're not going to feel good, then be stubborn, like go all the way. But like, if there are certain opportunities that you've been waiting for on years, but there's a couple of things that are not going your way, and you just decide to become stubborn, then you might want to reevaluate that, right? You might want to reevaluate, like, why are you doing that, you know? I always look at it as, not always, but in some cases I look at it as losing the battle but winning the war. Sometimes you have to lose a battle, but as long as the war looks optimistic, like it looks like you are going to win the war, you know, then it's fine. It's fine to have a couple of battles down. But if you are stubborn and you can win battles, but then you might end up losing the war is not where you want to lose. Okay, that's like the strategy over here that we're going with. Now, this is going to be a little more sensitive, but you could have, not you specifically, but a lot of ones can have difficulty communicating with their parents, okay? Now, you as a one, the thing is, like, the way you communicate, you're a leader, okay? And because you like to lead, sometimes, like, the parents could end up playing a very strange role in your life, okay? Because you're like go, but your parents might not understand you at that level, so there might be like a conflict over there where you're trying to communicate certain things to them, and it's just not working out, right? And then there are conflicts. Okay, let's get into this point now, okay? Now, this point is very important, okay? And what is this point? It's being impatient. All my ones, I want you to pay close attention to what I'm telling you. All the best things that are ever going to happen to your life, most of them, okay, are going to take patience, okay? We know that ones want things to go their way. We know you're a leader. We know we're independent. We know we're courageous. We know we have a hard drive. We know we're self-reliant. We know that we're optimistic. But what ends up happening is that we end up winning in the micro, but not looking at the macro. So the macro has to be observed, right? You are a relentless individual. Like, you want things to go your way, and you really have that in you. But what could end up happening is that if you do not have the patience, then things could end up backfiring on you, okay? So those are like some of the darker aspects of a one life path or a one birth number. All that being said, have yourself a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are. Take care.